I'm Dylan Nipper.
And I'm Luke Rhode.
And this is Hoofbeat News.
Good morning, FMHS. Today is Monday.
Today is Monday, February 3rd, and it's an important day because it marks our first Hoofbeat News broadcast of the 2019-2020 school year.
That's right, Dylan, and we have an episode packed with news. To start us off, we have Akacia Schauermann introducing us, Hoofbeat News, to you, Fort Morgan High School.
Hoofbeat is Fort Morgan High School's student-run news broadcast. After a brief period of time in which FMHS did not have a school news broadcast, Hoofbeat will now be returning. Each week, an episode will air during Monday's advisory.
My students in Hoofbeat this year have already gone above my expectations. We really had to start from scratch this year, from having not a single piece of equipment, whether it's a tripod or a memory card or a camera at all, and learning editing software, learning how to put a story together, and they've learned all of that, as you can see, and so they've already exceeded my expectations. What I hope for the rest of the year is that we can continue having a weekly broadcast, and that we can kind of become a part of everyone's weekly routine, so that next year we can continue to grow the program.
This class is completely student-operated. Students interview, film, voiceover, and edit their own stories.
Back when I took it, journalism was just a lot about us figuring things out as we went. It was really fun. Obviously it was one of my favorite classes in high school, but we just gotta be creative and make stuff and find news or kind of make news around the school, which is cool.
My expectation is that it allows students the freedom to voice the concerns that they have and really encourages them to kind of go about the news and what they see are hard-hitting issues or pieces that they're interested in and their desires. So that's one of the things I love about Hoofbeat is it's all student choice and student directed, that they get a chance to kind of go after their passion. And so I always believe in student choice, and I always encourage students to follow their dreams and their passions. So that's what I think is so great about Hoofbeat being a video production.
Thanks, Akacia. We're looking forward to being part of the routine here at FMHS, with a new episode airing every Monday during advisory.
If you want to find out what we're doing between episodes, you can stay caught up on our Facebook and Instagram account shown on the screen. We will have upcoming prizes and drawings for those who engage with us on social media, so keep a lookout.
You may be aware of some of the changes around rules for sophomores at lunch this year. Luke took a closer look at the updated policies and the reasons for the changes.
We're all familiar with it, at least those of us who leave from the senior lot during lunch. The chaos of the rush to get out to eat. Up until last week, the sophomore lot could not have been more different. Open Campus began this January for sophomores, so I asked Jorge Torres to see what his plans were for this semester.
Yes. So we had Open Campus today, and I went to Carl's Jr. with my friends, and that's probably the plan for here on out.
It wasn't always going to be this way, though. At the beginning of the semester, administration was strongly considering preventing sophomores from leaving campus for safety reasons. I went to Mr. Good to learn more about the administration's stance.
Open campus is not really a very common thing anymore in the area of school shootings. Once we have kids on campus, we kind of want to know where they are all the time and have some control over who's coming in and out of the building during the day. So the concern at Fort Morgan for me all along has been how many students are coming in and out of doors on both sides of the building throughout the day, because I don't have to tell any of you, the more people who are going in and out, the more likely it is that somebody who doesn't belong here can get in and do things that we don't want them to do while they're here. So.
Of course, other security measures are being taken to ensure the safety of students. I asked Mr. Good what those measures would be.
We're putting together a grant proposal for the state to do a complete reconstruction of the main entrance of the building. So that would move the main office downstairs, down into part of the commons, and there'll be a little bit of an addition done out in that courtyard, and then we'll turn that old hallway in at the top of the main gym. We'll move the counselors down there. So we're going to move all of that stuff down there and make that door then that goes into the commons from the parking lot will become the main entrance to the school.
In closing, Mr. Good has one final message to all students who leave school during lunch.
I think the main thing that I hope got conveyed to the sophomores, and that I want all the students to think about, is when you're going in and out of the doors, who's coming in or going out with you. We just need to be very aware of the fact that there are people who are going to want to come in and do things that we don't want done in the building, and there are going to be people who are going to try to come in who really don't belong in the building. And it's a lot of responsibility for teenagers to have. I really don't want you to have to think about who's coming in every time you go in the door. I would rather have the adults be able to do that, and the best way that we can do that is to have more controlled entrances and have a bit more of a controlled way of you leaving campus and coming back on campus.
I hope that brings some clarity to the new policies.
Thanks for the story, Luke. FMHS is filled with interesting people. As a staff, Hoofbeat hopes to highlight at least one person each week. Make sure to let us know who you'd like to see featured.
This week, Faith Flores put the spotlight on one of our very own foreign language teachers, Senora Flores. Let's go to Faith to see what she has.
I'm going to go over each one of you to see that you did your study guide. That will be the first.
What is your job here at the high school?
Oh, Spanish teacher.
Where were you born?
I was born in Mexico.
What's your favorite part of your job here?
There are more than one favorite part, but I think the one or two that really gets to me is like, getting close to students and making them feel that they can trust me and that I can help them somehow, not just academically in my classes, but also in other aspects. That's something that I really enjoy and that I really fulfill for me my job as a teacher. And I am very, very grateful, that I have had that connection with some students.
How long have you had this job?
Well, here in the States, this is my my sixth year. But out in Mexico, I was a teacher, an elementary teacher for 8 years before I moved.
Do you have any other family?
Well, I live with my husband and my 4 kids. They're all grown up and now they're out of on their own, and the 2 youngest are in college, and then the other 2 they graduated. So it's just my husband and me, and well, my husband has family, but all of my closest relatives, they live in Mexico, and so basically I feel like I am the only one here.
How long have you been her student?
Well, I had Spanish 1 with her, so that was freshman year, and it was 7th hour, so I had her for a year long then, and I've had her for a little over a semester during Spanish 3, which I'm taking this year. She talks very loudly. You can hear her all the way down the hall. That was quite an impression. She likes to start class early, so that kind of you're like, oh, like she wants to get down to work. But really, if you have a class that avoids doing work, it actually goes pretty slow. But she's a super good teacher and super caring and makes sure that everyone knows what they're talking about.
Thanks for the story, Faith.
Hey, in other news, I think I saw a UFO yesterday.
Nah, I think you saw a drone, just like a lot of other people in northeastern Colorado. Amanda Brennan has the story for us.
Many drones have been spotted flying over Morgan County in the recent weeks. This video of a drone was taken by Morgan Larson in Brush, Colorado. Since this has caused confusion, I decided to look into the mystery.
There have been a number of drones reported flying grid patterns over northeast Colorado. They were quite a mystery for quite a long time. I know they had a meeting in Brush with 70 different law enforcement and other agencies from the local, state, and federal levels and still didn't know exactly what was going on. Said that their drones were probably part of what people were seeing, and they were doing agricultural measurements and mapping, but some of it still remains a mystery. Drones are fairly lightly regulated at this point. The FAA was unable to really tell what was going on, and they have extensive radar. Weren't able to track these drones to whoever was flying them. So I think you'll see probably in the very near future further regulation and monitoring of the use of drones.
I interviewed a teacher at FMHS to get his insight on the drones.
So my name is Dustin Jack. I am a physics teacher here at Fort Morgan High School. So I first heard about the drones from another teacher. I really didn't know at first what kind of drones they were talking about, something you could find at Best Buy or something more expensive. I later learned that they were very large drones. I'm not sure exactly what they're flying around and doing. If I had to guess, data collection, maybe testing out some new hardware or software.
Oh, so it wasn't a UFO. Yep, that makes a lot more sense. Well, anyway, thanks for joining us for our very first episode of Hoofbeat.
If you have any stories that you think we could cover this semester, make sure to let us know online or in person. From all of us at Hoofbeat, have a great week, Fort Morgan High School.